Today we'll start with Mike Topper. Go ahead, Mike.
Afternoon, Joey. Nice to see you. Just a question for you. As one of the upperclassmen, obviously you're used to having a lot of younger guys on the team. How do you kind of talk to them as far as, what to expect or how to maybe temper some emotions going on to that big stage next week, playing, on national television, that sort of thing? Do you give them any advice going forward?
Yeah, I mean, having just played in those types of environments over the years and been a part of those incredible games, just kind of remembering the feelings that I was feeling. All of us are excited to play and everything, but reminding the guys that it's still basketball, and that doesn't change. Just kind of keeping everybody cool and composed. I mean, I think our guys have really good heads on their shoulders and are prepared for the spotlight. And so we're in a good spot. But however I can help, just kind of mention them, getting them comfortable, doing whatever I can.
Next, we'll go to Brendan Marsh.
Hey, Joey, appreciate you taking the time. I think, I'm sure you guys were all very relieved to see AJ get back as quickly as you did and be able to play the other night. When he is out there, how does he sort of change what you guys are able to do? And it looked like he was feeling a little bit better towards the end of that exhibition. Just how has he looked to you in practice the last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have him back, especially on the shorter end, considering we weren't too sure. But he's a big time player. He can do a lot of different things on the court. And so him just learning the college game, the speed of it and everything like that, takes time, and he's progressing, getting better every day, and just he works his tail off. So he can help us in a lot of ways, help us win a lot of games. So we're super excited to have him back.
Jim Sumner.
Hey, Joey. What are the keys to Degrading beating Kentucky?
I mean, we have to do what we do. We can't get away from ourselves. Good defense, staying together and communicating throughout the game. Coach preaches those things to us consistently, no matter what, no matter who our opponent is. Staying true to ourselves, and not really worrying about anything else other than what we have to get done.
Next, we'll go to David Thompson.
Hey, Joey, you've obviously played in a lot of different arenas, a lot of great places, but what makes playing at Madison Square Garden so special?
I mean, it's New York City. It's the buzz in the arena. And it's been a while since we played in front of a packed house like that. So, I mean, we can't even describe how excited myself and the rest of the team is to play there on Tuesday. So, I mean, it's a special place.
Brian Horace.
Hey, Joey. First, congrats on your captainship. And secondly, sort of piggybacking off the other question, have you given any specific advice to the younger guys who haven't been able to, play with fans aside from the last exhibition game?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of playing in those big games, especially in the past, is how much louder it is than anything that they've experienced. Jerm and Mark never really got to experience a sold-out arena or anything like that. Our freshmen as well. So making sure they know it's going to be packed, it's going to be loud and rowdy, and we can't let that shake us. We have to stay together and just up our communication and just play basketball. So just making sure they're aware that it's going to be loud in there. And I mean, they're big time basketball players, so they'll be ready to go.
Next, we'll go to Adam Rowe.
Joey, you were on that team that played Kentucky in a 118-84 game. Do you remember the emotions and the audience in that arena that night? And where do you kind of see this team in the preparation compared to that team at that point in the year?
Yeah, I mean, that was our first game my freshman year, and leading up to it, we were laser focused. We wanted to win, and we prepared to win. And I think this team is in a similar spot. We're focused and we're listening to coach and following his lead, but we're highly motivated. We're excited to get out there and play together. So just taking care of what we need to take care of and making sure that we'll be ready to go.
Next, we'll go to Jerry Tipton.
Yeah, Joey, I cover Kentucky, and I guess this is old news for you guys, but with Coach K announcing he's going to retire at the end of the season, does this inspire you guys? Does it put pressure on you? How does that announcement affect things?
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible opportunity for us, I think. Coach has had such an incredible career here, and I wouldn't say it adds any pressure to us. Makes me want to work harder and prepare to win as best as possible. So, and I think that goes for the rest of the team. So it's an opportunity. And at the end of the day, I've been saying it all afternoon, but it's basketball. It's what we've done our whole lives, and so we can't get away from that. But there is definitely an added layer of excitement for us.
Thanks.
Of course.
Brian McLaughlin.
Hey, Joey. With Jeremy Roach being now a sophomore, how have you seen him change through that private scrimmage with Villanova and then the exhibition game? Are you seeing differences in his approach and mentality?
Absolutely. I mean, he's such a hard worker. He's always in the gym. So his skills got better, but I think he's learning the game. He's kind of learning what coach wants and how to get that stuff done. And he's controlling the game. He's a pest defender, like learning ways to impact the game that he might have not known last year. So just maturing a lot. And I mean, Germ's a really good player.
Next, we'll go to Micah Horowitz.
Hey, Joey. Obviously a great game for everybody. Looked like you guys were having a lot of fun in the exhibition last week, but is there anything you guys took out of that you're, working on this week, defensively, offensively?
Yeah, I mean, there's always, especially with coach, he's never satisfied with the way we've played. And so there's things that they took away from that game that we need to improve on defensively, offensively. And, we've had a week and some change since that game leading up into Kentucky. So we've had time to get in the gym and work and prepare. So I think we're in a good spot and it's really excited to get this thing started.
Got time for a few more. We'll go back to David Thompson.
Hey, Joey, obviously there's a lot of emphasis on this freshman class, but can you talk about Mark Williams a little bit and just the biggest improvements that you've seen from the first time you played with him to where he's at now?
Yeah, I mean, similar to Jeremy, he's just a lot more mature. He kind of understands the game a little bit better, doing things that make him more effective, being in the right spots and being physical. But Mark's a special talent, and he's a hard worker as well. All of our guys, I mean, we're always in the gym just trying to get better. So I'm excited for Mark and see what he does this year for us.
Conor O'Neil.
Joey, given that Mark and Jeremy didn't get to play any kind of closed doors or exhibitions last year, how much do you think it benefits them to get out there and kind of get a little bit of dry runs in when it doesn't count in the win or loss column?
Yeah, I mean, just getting comfortable in that environment, I mean, it definitely helps. But I mean, Madison Square Garden is a little bit different than the dry runs that we've had. So I mean, like we talked about earlier, I was just saying, like, it's loud in there and there's going to be a lot of ruckus. We just have to be laser focused, staying together and communicating and just play basketball.
Jerry Tipton, you have another question?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, we'll wrap it up with Adam Rowe.
I put my hand back down. I think it was too late though. Joey, just kind of compared to last year, I know the offseason was totally shaken up. But where do you see this team compared to last year going into the season opener?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to compare. It's, like you said, completely different offseason and everything, but we were lucky enough to have a full summer together this year. Had a great preseason, and then our practices over the past month or so have been great, honestly. And so spending that time together, going through like tough conditionings, just always in the gym every day. Just really close. I think this group is as close, if not more close, than any other team I've been on. And we're all motivated. We have the same goal, and we're focused. So pretty good ingredients, and we're excited to get out there on Tuesday.
All right, Joey.
Thank you.
All right, we now welcome on Wendell Moore. Once again, if you have a question, please utilize the hand raise feature. And while you're not asking a question, please make sure to mute your line. We'll start with Tom Shanahan. Go ahead, Tom.
Hey, Wendell, freshman year, you got to experience these 4 great programs all together in the same building. Last year, that didn't happen for obvious reasons. Kind of talk about the excitement of the 4 programs together again, even though I know you guys aren't able to pay too much attention to the other game.
Right. I think the big excitement for us is just getting a chance to go up there as a team. We've had one trip already that we saw was pretty successful. And really, we just plan to have another one. We're going to keep really just living in these moments together as a team and taking it day by day, just taking how the season takes us.
Next up, we'll go to Brendan Marsh.
Hey, Wendell, something that both Coach and Trevor mentioned after the game, after the exhibition the other night, was that you guys don't necessarily have a true point guard per se, as you just have, 3 or 4, however many different ball handlers on the floor at the same time. How does that change what you're able to do offensively? And how does that sort of naturally lead to maybe a quicker offense that doesn't rely on sets as much?
Yeah. I think the main thing is a really last part you just said. Really with the 4 ball handlers on the floor, it kind of allows us to run more of an unconventional offense, which is one that we kind of like to run, which is really just a lot of transition. I'm just a lot of quick reads, a lot of hand cut, things like that, without having to set up because we don't have a traditional point guard, like you said. So I really think it makes things a lot easier on all of us who's able to handle the ball. Because like I said, we're not locked in on trying to get one person the ball to start the offense or anything like that. Really just gives each guy a chance to go out there and be comfortable and just be themselves.
Thank you.
David Thompson.
Now, Wendell, correct me if I'm wrong, but you started your first game, regular season game at Duke, was in Madison Square Garden, correct?
My first regular season game was in Madison Square Garden, correct.
What do you remember about that experience? And then what, a few years later, what's it like to go back?
Well, honestly, if I'm being honest, my first game wasn't the best experience. It's always something I remember, and I'm just excited to go back with a chance to redeem myself with this team. So that's what I can say about that one.
Well, what makes Madison Square Garden such a great place to play?
It's basketball. All the teams know you there. And that's how you want it. Especially for us with this being coaches last season, the game's already sold out. So you want 23,000 people and they're either rooting against you or for you. And there's no better environment like it.
All right, we'll go to Jim Sumner.
Hey, Wendell, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked your co-captain. What are the keys for Duke to come out with the win next week? What are the areas you're concentrating on?
I think the main areas for us is really just to go up there and just be in the moment. We're not looking ahead to anything. Like this is obviously one of the biggest games of our season, but at the same time, it's not a season. It's still one game. So we're going to come in locked in for this game. And for all the games down the road, we got to have the same mindset. Just because this is Kentucky, we should have a different mindset for them than we're going to have for say a team like Army that we play next week. I'm sorry. I think the main thing for us is just preparing well, and really just taking that preparation with us to New York and stay locked in.
Follow up. How tough is it to prepare for a team that's had so much roster turnover?
It's really tough because obviously, we don't know what they do as a team yet. We've watched a couple of their exhibitions, just like they have with us. This being both teams' first game as opponents is going to be kind of a tougher scout because we don't know what they're going to do all year. We can know their personnel from what they've shown at other schools, but this is really their first time playing together as a team too.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Jerry Tipton.
Yeah, hi. I wanted to ask, I cover Kentucky and I wondered, this is old news for you, I'm sure, but Coach K announcing he's going to retire. How does that impact the players? Does it, is it a motivational thing or is it add pressure? How do you guys, how does that affect you?
I think we see it as, as an opportunity. Because every time we go out, we're going to play in front of the biggest stages that there is. And really, that's the reason that you come to do, because you want to play in those big stages every night. You want to play in front of the flashing lights, the cameras on you. There's really no other feeling like it. These past 3 years have been amazing. Past 2 years have been amazing. And this third year, it's going to be even more amazing with the kind of buzz and media attention we have so far, and the guys that I have with me. I wouldn't want to do it with any other team.
Thanks.
Brian Horace.
Hey, Wendell, congrats on your captainship.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, what has impressed you the most so far about this year's squad?
I'd probably say the thing that's impressed me the most is this team comes to work every day. I'll probably say since we've been here, and there hasn't been much wasted time at all. Every time guys come to the gym, we're locked in. We're coming in, getting done what we need to be done. And we're getting out at that. We spend a lot of time together. So we're probably one of the closest teams that there is out there. But yeah, that's the main thing that impressed me. It's really just how everybody, I'm just always locked in and ready to work. And I love this about that team.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Adam Rowe.
Well, no, you're relatively young for your grade. You're only a couple months older than Jeremy and Mark. Does it feel natural to you to be a captain on this team and a leader for these guys to look up to you? Even, you're a junior, obviously, but considering your age.
Right. Yeah, sometimes it could be a little weird. Like you said, being only a couple months older than some of the guys. I'm younger than Bates and Theo, who's in their 5th year as grad chancellors. But to be the leader, I don't think it has anything to do with age. I feel like I have a good voice for this team. I feel like the guys listen to me. And I feel like they respect me, and I respect the guys as well, too. Just for me to be their leader, it says more about them than me. Because anybody can be picked to be a leader. But the guys really believe in you, then, trust you and follow you, then that's what really the pride comes into being a leader. Being a leader for this group of guys has been really one of the easiest things to do, because like I said, they come to work every day, so they make my job easier.
All right, we'll go to Brian McLaughlin.
Hey, Wendell. I'll ask you the same thing I asked Joey. When you look at Jeremy, now that he's got a year under his belt, what's changed with him? What have you seen? How have you seen him evolve now that you guys have had the private scrimmage and then that exhibition last week?
Yeah. I think I've seen Jeremy evolve in a lot of ways, but the biggest way I've seen him evolve is he's even become more of a leader. He's became more vocal on the court. He's demanding more from all of us. At the end of the day, that makes us all better. And I think for him, it's made him a lot better, because once he demands greatness or perfection out of us, he has no choice but to do it himself.
Conor O'Neil.
Hey, Wendell, I know the freshmen have played on big stages before, but going up to Madison Square Garden and playing Kentucky feels just a little different. Is there anything you tell them to get them ready for this, or do you have faith that they can handle the stage there?
I always have faith that they can handle the stage, but the only thing I tell them is, this is just another game. Yeah, it's a big game, but you played many big games in your life. This one isn't, like I said, it's not any different from the game we're going to play against Army next Friday. We still want to come in with the same mindset every single day. Just go out and play the game, just have fun. Things are going to fall where they fall.
Thanks.
Micah Horowitz.
Hey, Wendell. As I believe David pointed out, your first game freshman year was, bright lights against Kansas. That game really set the tone for the rest of the season. How do you think, not having that last year and now coming back this year, having that game under the bright lights at Madison Square Garden, how do you think that's going to set the tone for this season?
I think it's going to set the tone for us in a huge way. Like I said, we've came out locked in for the Villanova scrimmage, I felt. And I feel like we come out the same way, that we're going to be a very hard team to beat all year. I mean, I think we can set that kind of tone now that we're coming in. I mean, we're locked into every single game. And like I said, I think we're going to be a very hard team to beat.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go to Jason Evans.
Hey, Wendell, I want to ask you two quick questions about freshmen. First one, you were here, obviously, for Vernon Carey and Jalen Johnson. Can you compare Paolo Banchero and where he is compared to other freshman bigs that you played against, or played with, I should say?
Yeah. I think he's definitely one of the most unique players I played with, I'll say that. I mean, he's not a traditional big man. Honestly, he rarely plays the big man spot with Mark and Theo in the game. So he has the opportunity to showcase his whole offensive arsenal. But I think the one thing that he does better than the two other guys I played with is he's learned to become a leader very fast. He's learned to use his voice, and he's learned how to make the rest of his teammates better, which turn has made him a lot better quicker.
And my other freshman question relates to Kentucky. I don't know how much scouting you guys have done, but have you talked about what you're going to do about Ty Washington? Guy's incredibly fast. I'm not sure there's anybody who's sort of a natural matchup on Duke for him. You're our best perimeter defender. Have you looked at any of what you're going to do to stop a guy like that?
Now, we definitely have been looking at film, but I think first, in practice, we've been working a lot of ourselves because we feel like we can really control what we do in the game. I mean, we can limit what they do. So I think we're focused on us for right now. We're getting to the scout here in a couple of days, and then we'll figure something out.
Thank you.
All right, once again, we'll wrap it up with Adam Rowe.
Yeah, can I just follow up on one thing you said earlier? You said your first game at Duke was your best game. Is that even better than the tip-in you had against UNC to win that overtime game? You said that Kansas game was better than the UNC game?
Oh, well, no. I said personally, my first game was not a very good game.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that. All right. Thank you, Wendell.
Yeah. Thank y'all. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you all for joining the call. We'll have a quote sent out this evening.